Hey everybody, I'm back this week to do an amazingly awesome dessert. We are going to do Black Forest cake in the microwave. I know, and it's awesome. We're going to bake in something we never have before. Look, Cool Whip containers. You need 2 Cool Whip containers or a flat bottomed round microwavable container of the same type. Okay, you'll see what I get when I get there. So, get your mixing bowl. Doesn't need to be microwavable. I'm going to start out with 3/4 a cup. See about 3/4 a cup of regular flour. Now we need 1/2 cup of sugar. Half cup sugar. Okay. And we're going to need 2 tablespoons cocoa powder. The good stuff. You know me and my heaping tablespoons of cocoa powder. I love it. Gives you a good rich chocolate. Okay, now 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda. And 1/4 a teaspoon of baking powder. And yes, you need these to help your cake rise. And now you need 1/2 cup of milk. I just do that sometimes to mix it around a little bit. Okay, 1/2 cup milk. Now 2 tablespoons of oil. Just plain old good veggie oil. 1 and 2. Okay, what do we get next? Vanilla. Love this stuff. Just a teaspoon. I'm going to be using more later, so don't worry. Okay, there we go. Our teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now, this is a cool little handy tip here to make your cake really just kind of stand out. Lemon juice. Need 1.5 teaspoons. So get our teaspoon back. Go for my 1/2 teaspoon. And just take your fork and just get that all mixed up. If you have beaters and you so choose to use those, you can do that. But I figured why dirty something else. And I can just put a little elbow grease into it. And no, that's not another ingredient. But you just want to go ahead and get that all mixed up. You know, check the edges for powder. You see it's going to make a fair amount of batter, but we're going to be splitting that in half. When you think you have it all mixed up, make sure you get all the little lumps mixed in. You're going to set that aside a minute, and you're going to get your 2 whip containers and your cooking spray. The cooking spray is important because these need to come, the little cakes are going to need to come out of these. Don't have it pointing at your face, which I almost just did. And give the inside of your container a liberal spray. If one has like a little indent, that's fine. You're going to be covering it up anyway. And you're going to take this, your batter, and you're going to split it evenly between the 2 containers. These won't take long to bake. I'm going to get a spoon to finish this part off, because I want to make sure I get all the batter in there. These don't take long to bake, where you do them for 2 minutes initially, and then we see how they are. But then we're going to pop them in the fridge real quick while we make our syrup. And then after they, it's not going to take a minute or so. We just really want them to cool down. So if you even pop them in the freezer real fast, because they're only going to be there a minute or so while we make our syrup. Point being, we want them cool because we're going to cut each of these in half to make a 4-layer Black Forest cake. Okay, once you have, they're really good. Those even. I'm going to go ahead and put them in a microwave for 2 minutes. And they're probably going to take longer than 2 minutes, given the fact that we have 2 of them in there and not just one. And you can start to clean up some of your stuff, but not much. Because we're still going to need our sugar. And what else this area is going to need? Our sugar, our water, and our vanilla, because we're going to make a syrup. And you'll see here why. But we also need a tub of Cool Whip, an actual tub of Cool Whip, because you need the Cool Whip, can of cherry pie filling, and a chocolate bar and a cheese grater. I'm keeping the chocolate and the Cool Whip in the fridge until I absolutely need them, because it's a cake that you probably won't be eating right away because you want it to cool and set up. They're baking up nicely, but they probably will take another minute or two. Excited to check on here. If you love my awesome shirt, you can obviously tell I'm a Jurassic Park fan. I got this from T Fury. How cool is it? The Dino DNA. I saw it and I went, I have to get that. It really wasn't even on sale at the time because T Fury has some of their daily shirts and some of their collections. It's from a collection. Okay, we're going to check on our cakes, which are rising nicely. Okay, but we're definitely going to do them another minute because you can see where they still jiggle. And these need to be completely cooked through because, like I said, we're going to pop them in the freezer while we make our syrup. And we're going to cut them in half. So we can't have any molten cake like I did that one time. Oh, so good, I still think about that. Wheel away. If one's rising higher than the other, that's fine. You don't need to worry about that because, like I said, we're cutting them in half, stacking them with filling in between, and then covering them in Cool Whip. I know, it's a fancy little cake. My kitten's in a box staring at me. She loves playing in boxes. Okay, what kittens don't, but she'll fall asleep in a box. It's hilarious. Let's check on our cakes. Let's see how we look in here. Do we pull away from the edges? Nope, I'm going to do mine for another minute. Like I said, if you did them one at a time, they would probably only take 2 to 3 minutes. Let me test this one, but because I'm doing them at the same time, they're going to take, probably around 4 minutes. So another minute here, and then I'm pretty sure we'll be done. Had a little bit of the cake on my fork. But yeah, this is just, it's like a mini Black Forest cake, and it is so good. Plus, it's highly impressive to say, hey, I made a 4-layer Black Forest cake using my microwave. Yeah, we'll be popping these into the freezer here, probably, as soon as this is done. Because they're going to cool while we mix up our syrup. And then when we take them out, we're going to pop one out onto a plate, cut it in half, set the other half to the side, brush it with the syrup, put Cool Whip down, just a small thin layer, put a layer of the cherries, put that half back on, syrup, Cool Whip, cherries, and repeat. Okay. Our cakes are done. They are a moisture cake. Yep. Ooh, nice. I'm gonna pop these in the freezer here real quick. Just gotta find a spot to put them. Because like I said, we're not freezing them, they just need to set in here to chill down. Because they will be like impossible to cut in half and tip out of there if we don't have them cooled down. Okay, for our syrup, you need a half a cup of water. Sorry, I'm just trying to get that very even half cup. Okay. We have a half a cup of water. You're just going to take 2 tablespoons of sugar, one and 2, and put in there, and a half of a teaspoon, half a teaspoon of vanilla. And you're just going to give it a stir and make sure, we're just going to basically, like I said, stir it until the sugar is dissolved. And we get half a, and that just makes a basic simple syrup to help everything taste a little better. I'm going to start clearing some things out of the way. Okay. Because we'll need a working space here. I'm getting 2 plates, a large knife. I'm going to have my syrup sitting over here with my spoon. My cherry pie filling. Okay, the cheese grater, what I said about, is once we get the cakes layered and covered, if you like, take your cheese grater, your bar of chocolate, and you can put like chocolate shavings on top to look really fancy. And if you hear the jingle bells, you know that's Elsa. She's become a staple in my videos. She provides the audio. She just yelled at me, "Say hi, say hi." She's like, "Why'd you take me away from playing with my jingle toy?" Back of the jingle toy. Cakes are cooling nicely. This is the one bit you might have of downtime because the cakes, I test them. If one's cooler than the other, I'll take that out and cut it to show you guys. Mine might be a little warm when I do it, so if it seems a little squishy, that's because I'm doing it before they're entirely cool. You guys can wait. Me, I value your time. Okay, once your cake has cooled, plate, dump, ta-da! Okay, it might be steaming a little bit, but hey, you know, we're trying here. Yours won't be because you'll have let it cool for 5 to 10. Me, like I said, valuing time. And I'm going to take a knife and cut it in half. It should cut fairly easily. Now you might need a spatula or your knife to help you because you want to get the other half, like I said, over there intact. Now, take your original half here, take a little bit of that syrup, and you don't need a lot. We probably made way more than we're going to need. We're just going to, and if you had a pastry brush, you could just brush that. If not, it's maybe 2 to 3 spoonfuls, just kind of dribbled over the top. It helps everything just hold together. But Cool Whip. Another reason we need these cool down because I want to melt our Cool Whip. Again, you're gonna maybe need 2 to 3 spoonfuls. Just gently. And if you're, like I said, when they're cool, it's going to be easier to spoon this around. It won't be trying to crumb up. Which mine, I will admit, if you see this, is trying to do because I have not waited a proper cooling time. But just be careful you don't crumb up your cake and just get a nice round layer on there. Yeah, out of my spoon. Now you're going to take your cherry pie filling. Try to get cherries in along with the gel. I mean, the gel's good, but, you know, cherries is our main focus. And again, we're not going to need a lot because we're doing multiple layers, but some cherries on there. And we have level 1 finished. Now, take that piece that you cut and flop it back on there. Try to get it, you know, level. Back to the syrup. And repeat. I have like 2 or 3 spoons floating around here. We don't want to put too much between the layers or our cake's not going to stand. That's why you only use a little bit between each layer. But, okay. You've got more cherries on there. You got a 2-layer. You can set that to the side a minute. And we're going to go pop our other one out of the freezer. So, second cake. Clean, well, plate that you had dumped it onto, the other one onto. This is why you save a few Cool Whip containers. Excellent storage and microwave baking tools. So, go ahead, I know I'm waving the knife around. Go ahead and cut this one in half. Evenly as you can. Get your cake back. Take that top layer and flop it back on there. But you can see, it's going to be a little loosey-goosey. This is not a cake you're going to cut into syrup. Yeah, I know I'm using the Cool Whip. I didn't feel like getting 3 spoons, but after you put some more syrup on, back to the Cool Whip. This is not a cake you're going to cut into to eat right away. After you Cool Whip and everything, you're going to want to see if the Cool Whip sticks out to the side. That's okay, because we're going to cover it. And you can see mine was crumbing a little bit there, just because it's warm. Because it's kind of need to set up in the fridge, because if you tried to cut it right now, you'd have a pretty gooey mass. These spoonfuls of cherries. last layer. Go ahead and put your last layer on there. I know it looks a little messy right now, but like I said, we are going to be covering this, which is why it's okay if the Cool Whip kind of spreads out. Okay. Get a few more spoonfuls of that syrup on there. Okay. And more Cool Whip. And this is the fun one here because we are not putting cherries on this one. And if you think your cake's starting to slide, just give it a nudge back into position. This is the part where we're just starting to cover our entire cake now that we have our top layer on. You might need a small table knife. In fact, I'm going to get one. Because we're just trying to smooth it over now. We're not just plopping it on there. Don't I have the best baking terms in the world? Plop it right on there. Or throw it on the counter. And you're just like taking your knife, smoothing Cool Whip on the sides, getting more out of your bowl. That's why we didn't want to put too much between the layers. We don't want it to be too jiggly, and we want to be able to smooth it down. I think she found a penny. The only time I think I actively look for that cat is when she's quiet. And then you know she's up to no good. Other than that, I usually don't have trouble finding her. I'm not the fastest at cake decorating. I'll take my time. You might be way swifter at this than I am. Oh, I smudged it. And I'm not going to say mine's going to be the neatest looking one. Yours might be way neater. But, just to give you an example, I will cover the other side. I just wanted to show you guys what this was going to look like. So, at that point, if you have your cake all covered, get your chocolate bar, get your cheese grater, and go to town. I got a dark chocolate bar because, well, it's dark chocolate. Also why we keep it in the fridge, because chocolate in this heat is going to melt a little bit. And look, you just made a very awesome Black Forest cake in the microwave. And after you're done covering it and putting chocolate on it, toss it back in the fridge for a while, because like I said, right now it's kind of wobbly because we've been baking it and putting it together. You want it to set up for a little while. So go enjoy this. Shoot me some suggestions, and I'll see you next week.